All right, welcome to lab number 12 of AZ-700. In this lab, what we're going to do is configure DDoS protection just in the web portal itself. There is a handy graphic on GitHub with regards to the architecture of this, so please do take a look at that. So we're going to start off by creating a resource group here. Let's see if I can scroll. Yes, I can. So let's create one. Let's call it something sassy like my resource group. There we go. And then let's create a DDoS protection plan. Let's put it in our resource group. And let's call it my DDoS protection plan. Problem solved. Well, not really, right? So as with many things in Azure, the DDoS protection plan is actually just a kind of a box. So it doesn't do anything on its own. And our architecture currently doesn't even have anything to protect either. So let's change that. Let's create a virtual network, just so that we have something to protect, right? So now we have our forum open. So let's call our network my virtual network. Then over here on the security tab, we normally kind of jump over this when we're creating networks, but this time we would actually want to go into it, and we can see that there is Azure DDoS network protection available here. So we can use this to enable a DDoS protection, and then we need to select the plan, well, the one that we just created, right? Otherwise, we're happy with defaults, so let's just create. All right, it's done. So even though we have DDoS protection on now, there's nothing in our virtual network that would need to be protected, right? So we would need to have like some resource that is publicly available. And that publicly available resource most likely would have a public IP address, right? So let's create a public IP address. All right, here we are. In our resource group, in East US, as a name, we're going to use my public IP address. And then we're happy with the standard SKU. Static assignment is good. Then we need a DNS label. It's called deep dives. Okay, I think that's it. All right, that's done. So now, what can we do? Well, if we go over to our DDoS protection plan, what is it here somewhere, right? I think we can just see it there. Yeah. We have different kinds of settings here on the left-hand side. Let me just kind of open everything up. So, for example, we have a list of protected resources here, which of course includes our virtual network that we've defined. And then here under monitoring, And we have some metrics available to us. This is the normal metrics UI. It's just kind of the scope right now is the DDoS protection plan itself. What we want instead is we want to look at our public IP address over here. And the metric that we might be interested in if we have DDoS protection on could be something like the packets dropped by DDoS, right? So inbound packets dropped DDoS max. Okay, so this way we would be able to see a metric that would kind of show us inbound packets dropped by the DDoS protection plan would be, right? So that might be handy. We might want to put some alert on that. We can also go to the public IP address itself. You can see a lot of these things are kind of available from multiple different places. But here we have something called diagnostic settings. Basically means that we can define events that happen in with our resource to be or metrics to be forwarded somewhere else, right? Just kind of weirdly called the diagnostic setting. Okay, so if we want to, what we can do is forward all of the logs that we're interested in. So this could be like protection notifications, flow logs of these decisions, and then reports, and maybe also all of the metrics. And then we could send all of that to log analytics. We don't have a log analytics workspace in this particular demo environment, so we're not going to do that. But this is how it would work. We would select the log analytics workspace here, and then save that, and then we could receive everything. Okay, that's still just using a public IP address. So let's create a virtual machine that will use a public IP address and then show you how to define DDoS alerts. Oops, resource group. My virtual machine. We don't need any of that. Instructions have a bit older Ubuntu here. And of course we can't find it. So let's just go with 22. We want a B1 LS. There we go. There's the super small instance. Key is okay. Azure user, generate a new pair. Let's call it something else. And we don't need any public inbound ports for now. All right, that's done. Let's go look at our virtual machine, and specifically networking. So here we have our IV settings. And now we can edit the IP configuration. To use the previously created public IP address. When that's done, now if we go back to the public IP, now under monitoring, we go to alerts, and then we can create an alert rule. The signal should be under DDoS attack or not, right? This is actually a metric, so we need some logic here. So if it's greater than or equal to 1, that means that we're under attack. And then let's just have that as an alert only, and let's call it my DDoS alert. Right, so now what we could do is create a simulated DDoS attack. So there are a couple of approved partners that can create these simulated DDoS attacks. So what you could do is use one of them. They cost something though, so kind of do know what you're doing when you're doing that. If you would be using that, then you would be able to see the under DDoS attack metric. So over here, to move from 0 to 1. And then simultaneously you would start to see stuff like dropped packets and so on. But for our purposes, we can't demo that for you. If you would be interested, I might create another video where I actually do it. But right now, I don't have the means to do that. Anyway, thanks for listening for this particular lab. If you have been following along, then remember to remove the resource group and thus delete everything that we've been doing here. No, I can't do it from here. You have to go into it and then delete. There we go. And then that way you don't incur any costs in your account. Thanks a lot for listening, and see you in the next one. Till then.